Okay guys, so as you seen in the title, today we're going to be doing our first attempt at epoxy resin art. So we have a circle piece of wood that I got from Michael's. It was only about $2, and we're going to be putting the Baby Milo Baby Ape logo on this piece of wood. So as you see right here, I'm just using some paint that I got from Michael's, just some dollar paint, and I'm mixing it together to try to create the colors that I'm going to need to create Baby Milo. And that's just me taking the paint and mixing it. And as you guys already saw on the piece of wood that Baby Milo was already traced, but he has like a white film over him, it's because on the piece of wood I end up drawing him with a black marker, and then I painted over him with some white spray paint just to give him a primer. And that's why the trace is already in the background, just so I can make sure that I had the picture nice and crisp. And like I said, this is my first time doing epoxy resin art, so I wanted to definitely make sure that I had like a trace in the background. So I had some type of guidelines to make sure that I was able to color it in exactly how I wanted it. I mean, I know it's my first time, but I still wanted it to look pretty nice. And to be honest, at the end, I think it came out pretty well. You guys can leave it in the comments and let me know what you guys think, how well you think it came out. But right now, I'm just going in, filling in all the colors that I need to fill in, and as you guys seen in the picture on my phone, I use that as a reference. So I just use that as a reference to go in, color it, and make sure that all the colors were in the right spots. And I'm honestly glad that I did that because for me being a beginner, I'm not the best artist, but having the picture in the background that was already traced definitely made this a lot easier. So if you're a beginner like myself, I would definitely advise to trace the image on your wood and then use a white primer over it. So you can still see it in the background, but once you paint it, it looks like it was never there. And since it's hand painted, who's gonna know that you didn't freestyle it and you end up using a trace in the background? Nobody's gonna know. They're just gonna see the art and admire it. So I would definitely advise you to make sure that you put something in the background if you're not a good freestyle painter like myself. So now that I'm finished filling it in, I'm just gonna go around the edges of the circle or the circular wood with the black paint, just so that the edges don't look all dry and dull like they did at first. And I think the black outline all the way around just gives it a cleaner and more professional look. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure that we fill that all the way in, and then I'll show you guys how it looks at the end once we put the epoxy on. So this was part one, and then I also have part two. So Michael's also had a wooden heart that was on sale, and I'm gonna use the wooden heart to create the Como de Garcon logo. And as you've seen, I did the same thing. I'd already traced the heart in the background and went over it with the white primer so I can be able to just paint the colors on there pretty easily and pretty smooth, and to give it a nice finish in the background because you don't want it to look all woody and choppy. You want it to look full and very colorful. So I did the white already on the eyes, and now I'm going in with the red paint to fill in the inside heart. And then, as we all know, with the logo, the inside heart is red, and then the outside heart is going to be black. So it's going to have that same black finish, just like the Baby Milo did. And if you guys want to go to Michael's and get these same tools to do what I did, I'll definitely link it down below. But if you're interested in doing epoxy, I think that you should try this, especially as a beginner, because it's not as tedious or as scary as trying to do a whole table or a whole wall piece like I've seen other people do. I've seen people do backgrounds as far as like basketball goes and things like that, and I would like to try that, but just as a beginner, I think that's a little too much for me. And I also got the epoxy pour on from Michaels as well. I think it was about $10, but I'll let you guys know later. And it gives you all the instructions. They tell you which one to use first and which one to use next. It also comes with a measuring cup, which was perfect because I didn't have any. It didn't want to buy any. So that's great that it comes with that. And it also comes with plenty of mixing or stirring sticks. So that was great because it gave me about 10 of them so I could do a lot of other projects. And honestly, so far I've only done those two, but I still have the sticks, which is great. And I still have all the tools. So I would definitely advise if you're beginning and want to try it out to get that because there was definitely a lot. I only used half on these two, and I still have a lot left. So I would definitely advise for you guys to get that. Unless you have your own epoxy resin mixing utensils and things like that, then you can use your own. But just telling you guys what I used. So now I'm pouring it over our finished products, and they said to make sure that you try to get it as smooth as you can and leave it for about 24 hours. So this is our product after 24 hours, and came out really good. I'm putting it in my art room why I use my paints. But if you guys have a different suggestion, drop it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.